everybody, Chad, Nobody Else's Auto. It's a pretty nice day today. It's Sunday. Nice, bright, sunny, clear day. We do have a little bit of breeze, but compared to what we have a lot of times here, it's not too terribly bad. So we're going to roll with it for today. We haven't done one of these in about 3 or 4 months. I try to do them every couple of months, but it's difficult to find a nice afternoon where we don't have a ton of wind and everything's clear where we can see stuff. So we're going to go with it today and give it a shot and see. Hopefully the wind cooperates. Hopefully things don't get too annoying or too windy where we can still keep rolling. Show you a bunch of stuff that's been changing, a lot of new inventory, a lot of things have been happening. Vehicles have still been coming in. I've got a lot of stuff that I've been hung up on getting titles on. That is finally starting to loosen up with the state, so I'm going to get back on that and start getting a bunch of title work done on some of this stuff that's been coming in this spring. So lots of stuff happening. A few housekeeping tips before we get into the live. Hopefully we've got some people jumping on with us now. If you've got any questions, throw them up there. I'll sure try to get to as many of them as I can. On specific parts, if you want to see something, by all means let me know. If we're close to it, we can walk you by it, take a look at it. One thing that I don't get into on these lives, and here's one, I'm going to tell you why. If you want to see a fender off of this truck, I'll be more than happy to take you by and show you this fender. If you ask me what I want for it, I don't know, because I don't know if you need the whole fender, you need the headlight, you need the inner fender, what pieces do you need with it? What's your total cost going to be? I don't know, because on this big stuff, when you get into freight shipping, there's a lot of variables. Some of this stuff, freight, can be 150 bucks shipping. Some of it can be 350 bucks, depending on whether you need a lift gate, whether it's a rural delivery, whether it's a commercial delivery with a forklift. So, more than happy to show you vehicles or parts, but getting into specific pricing and things like that, you've got to give me a call after we get done, and I can send you more detailed pictures, talk about what you exactly need, what your shipping situation is, things like that. So typically when we do these lives, we'll have 200 or 300 people on with us, and it's not fair to everybody else to stop and have that conversation in the middle of the live. So we get into that, more than happy to show you stuff, more than happy to give you walk-arounds, but we get into the specifics, just give me a call so we can go over all that. So
Terry Hewlett says 71 to 74 Dodge Charger.
We do have some 73, 74 Chargers back over here. We'll get around to those here in a little bit. So is that all we've got right now?
So far.
Okay. Let's go. Let's head off this way. Obviously a lot of cool stuff. These Fords have come in recently. 41 Ford commercial, 51 Ford pickup. Both good projects. Waiting to get paperwork done on them. Going to be some killer projects for somebody at some point once we get everything finalized. But those should be ready soon. Go through this gate here.
46 era Dodge truck.
We do have some of those here, some of those 39 to 46s. Nothing complete. I've got one of them over near those Chargers, so we'll catch both of those here shortly.
Any Fastback Mustang 65, 66s?
I don't have any Fastbacks in stock right now. I've got a friend that does have some Fastbacks that I can possibly put you in contact with.
74 Caprice convertible trims, 54 Plymouth Belvedere.
The only thing I've got in 54 Plymouth is a 2-door station wagon. I don't have any 74 Chevy convertible stuff.
Hello from Andover, Maine. Any early Grimmies?
Just this one right here. Happened to be standing right next to one. We just had to turn around.
55 Chevy Bel Air, 79 Plymouth Fury or police cars.
No 77 Fury police cars or Furies. 55 Chevy, depends on what you want.
79 Plymouth Fury or
79 Fury, yeah. Gotta head off this way a little bit. There's a 54 Chevy that just came in this spring, pretty much a complete Bel Air. A lot of good pieces left on that car. We'll kind of work our way down this way towards those Chargers and that other Dodge truck. Walking through what is primarily a GM section over here right now. Can you see comments okay?
so far.
Okay. Old Studebaker right there, that's a really unique Studebaker truck. That was a real cool grill style on those.
Caprice body trims, didn't hear a reply.
Unless that was a 74, I don't have any 74 convertibles or 2-doors. So I assume that was the 74, but I'm not sure. Got a Pacer, got a really cool Plymouth station wagon. This stuff's all coming recently. 76 Cutlass Supreme.
58, 59 Apache front fenders and hood.
I don't have any pickup stuff. this Cutlass came in recently. We can take a look inside of it. This car has buckets, console, floor shifter, a lot of cool parts on this car. And these cars are getting popular and hard to find, so always excited to get some of the 70s stuff in.
The Gremlin needs a Twizzler dispenser like in Wayne's World.
Got a Dodge pickup that just came in here recently this spring. Hasn't even gotten put away yet. Just got sat here in the front. We'll work our way on over this direction. Got some more stuff here in the middle that's been coming in.
72 C40 Chevy, any Ford Fairlane 58-foot front bumper. 58 inch? I don't know.
I'm not sure what we mean on that. I don't have any of those C40 Chevy trucks in that era.
Any Japanese vintage late 60s, early 70s Datsun, Mazda, Toyota.
The only thing I've got back there is a 275 280Z that came in with some other cars. I don't do much of that Japanese stuff. I just happen to get that on with some other stuff. Walking through some A-body stuff. GM A-body here, GM A-body over here. Lots of Skylark, Le Mans, Cutlass, Chevelle stuff. Some stuff here in the middle that came in recently that just hasn't gotten put away yet. 52 Buick Special, 49 Dodge truck.
My screen went dark, kind of.
Still on?
I think so. It
Okay.
says live.
We'll keep working our way around here. More Buicks that have been coming in from Dad's.
Any 58 to 60 international travel-alls or pickups.
I got some truck stuff, no travel-alls. More Buicks from Dad's, a 50 Buick, 56 Buick, 55 Buick.
58 Belvedere.
No 58 Plymouth at all. '70 Skylark two-door post that came in from Dad's place. Working down towards some of the Mopar stuff here. Here's the other side of some of the A-body GM stuff. 69 Skylark, 65 Chevelle, 68 El Camino, 66 Special.
66 GTO front clip.
I don't have a front clip for a 66. I've got front fenders, but that's it.
Any 46 Dodge custom body, specifically two-door club coupe.
I've only got one Dodge in that 46 to 48 body style, and it's a four-door.
80 Trans Am, 50 Chevy pickup front fenders.
I do have 50 Chevy pickup front fenders. I do have a lot of late second gen Firebird stuff, so it just depends on what you needed there.
70 Dodge D100 driver's floor pan, I think.
I don't have any 70 Dodge pickups.
I think that's caught up right
There's a
now.
kind of a funky little Plymouth that came in here a few months ago, kind of a little weird fastback 50 Plymouth.
Have any 62 Pontiac Tempest, could use a deck lid and nice grill.
All I've got is a station wagon. I was thinking I had a trunk lid somewhere, but I don't remember if I've still got that trunk lid for that 62. That'd be a possibility if you want to give me a call after we get done.
67 El Camino.
No 67 El Caminos. Here's some of the Chargers we were talking about. The 73, 74 era Chargers. Stack of Charger bumpers on top of that one. But we've got 4 of them lined up right here. So we do have miscellaneous pieces left for those 73, 74 era Chargers.
Matt says hello from Phoenix. Thanks for doing your show. Always enjoy it.
Glad you're here, Matt. Thanks for being here from Phoenix and hanging out with us, taking time out of your day. That's the cool part about it. You guys don't know how much I appreciate you guys stopping, taking time out of your day to hang out. It's a good time. Here's one of those 46, 47 era Dodge trucks we were talking about. Doors are gone, but other than that, it's pretty much complete and it's super, super solid.
69 to 72 Blazer.
None of those at all. 42 Plymouth Business Coupe. That's something you don't see very often. Not a lot of 42 cars out there, period, much less an actual original coupe.
Need more Oldsmobiles.
Oldsmobiles, depending on what you want, we've got some. We'll catch a few of them over here in the middle here in a little bit.
Early 70s Impala.
I've got some there. Again, depends on what you want. couple of Dodge truck cabs that came in recently, a 48 to 50 and a 51 to 53, both very, very solid cabs. They've got some dents in them, but they're super solid.
Omaha's with you, Steve Sell.
Omaha, thanks for being here. We're working our way on around out here towards this middle area, which has been a lot of new inventory. It's kind of turned into a dumping ground this spring, actually, and I've got to get cleaned up, so we're going to work our way on over that way and check out some of that stuff.
There was a comment about Oldsmobile W30, W31. I think it would have faded out.
I don't have any W30 stuff.
38 Ford Coupe.
No 38 coupes.
Live watching from Maine. Your yard is a dream.
Thanks for being here. Maine, that's a long ways away. It's a long way from here.
Great day for the show. Looks hot and lots of new stuff.
It is warm out. We probably will have to pause a couple times to go get more bottles of water, but we're going to keep rolling as long as you guys want to be on. So
61 Plymouth Valiant.
no 61 Valiants.
37 Chevy truck.
I've got some stuff for those depending on what you need, not a ton.
48 Olds 2-door fastback.
Nothing there.
Nice Nash. Kettering, Ohio's here on.
Okay. 52 Buick Roadmaster. We moved in from Dad's place. Large selection of truck cabs over in this area. This is one of those areas that a couple things going on over here. We're raising this area. We've got a bunch of dirt moved in here. I need to move these cabs from around the area so we can finish raising it and then start lining up this whole area with truck cabs.
Any 53 Chevy panel vans.
I've got one, but there's very, very little left of it.
Love that Metropolitan behind you. 69 Impala 2-door. Need parts for one.
I don't have a 69 two-door. I've got a 69 four-door coming in. I've got a bunch of trim off the 69 two-door I stripped out several years ago. So if you want to call me and give me a list on that. So we'll keep working our way down here towards this middle area.
72 Plymouth Scamp.
Nothing there. I've got one, that's a Dart. I've got one four-door Dart and 72 is all I've got. So this area here, actually we can kind of cut through here. Some of this stuff has come in the last 6 months. We'll cut through these cabs.
Somebody's got a 55 Buick 2-door hardtop if you want to buy it.
Depends on where it's at, things like that. So.
Lone Grove, Oklahoma is on. Howdy from Kentucky, 54 early 55 3100 Chevy pickup.
I've got some of them, nothing that's completely intact.
63 through 66 Nova.
Nothing there at all.
55 Bel Air 2-door post fenders. Plymouth Fury.
Don't have any 55 Chevy front fenders, no. So we'll kind of swing through here. Some of the stuff we may have caught on the last live, but there is a lot of stuff in here that has come in the last 6 months. So we'll go ahead and swing through here. Maybe you didn't see part of it. Like I said, we've got a lot of cabs in here. There's some square body Chevy cabs that came in about 6 months ago. Like I said, all this stuff's trying to get resorted. These two rows all through here are 48 to 53 GM cabs. We'll kind of work our way through here. A whole bunch of new takeoff square S10 beds, a couple stacks of those. Really good 53 to 55 Ford cab. This came in this spring. So we'll cut back through here. We'll cut out here into this middle where we've had a bunch of stuff that's been coming in here over the last 3 or 4 months.
55 Buick is in Katy, Texas.
Yeah, that's a pretty good jaunt for me.
If I'm missing anybody's comments, questions, you might repost. I'm looking at 2 different sources and they're both coming up quite quickly. 46 to 47 Hudson truck cab, 79 Ford F-150.
I don't have any of those old Hudson trucks. I don't have any of those. 79 F-150. I do have some 73 to 79 Ford pickup stuff. Just depends on what you need. So, had a funky little Volkswagen Vanagon that came in last week, I think. Had an engine fire. That's why everything on the back here is kind of torched. But kind of funky, kind of different. Something you don't see every day. We'll run around the front, take a look at the nose on this thing just because it's so funky. I think it was an 82, I think is what the paperwork said. But It's just cool. You don't see them all the time. I just shot a bunch of pictures of this yesterday. I'm going to post some more some more detailed pictures of this tonight or tomorrow night. But there again, something kind of different, something you don't see every day. So didn't want to pass it up.
60 to 61 Apache side trim. Need back corner of cab piece.
The short piece on the back corner of the cab, I should still have both of those, I think.
68 Fairlane fenders.
Nothing there.
Kevin Murray, hey bro.
Hey, what's up? And like I said, any of the stuff that you'll give me a shout when we get done, and we can go over the specifics on any of it. So this whole area right here, some of this stuff behind us we caught on the last live, because it was back, I think, end of March 1st or April when we did the first live. Some of this stuff right over here in the middle was already here. We'll walk by some of that, but we've been filling in all the way around it since then. So lots of stuff, lots of Buicks from my dad's place, and a lot of other stuff. Right behind us, we've got a 52, another 52 Roadmaster.
69 AMX.
No AMXs at all. So there's another 52 Roadmaster that came in from dad's, 56 Special, 55 Super. 68, 69 Ford F350 custom cab flatbed. So it was probably a chassis cab they put a flatbed on, but they actually did order it as a custom cab. So a little bit fancier than your normal 68, 69 Ford pickup right there. So we'll keep working our way down the road. More Buicks from dad's. 1950 Super two-door hardtop, 1954 Roadmaster. And a couple down here on the end, another 55 Super and a 51 Super that have already been mostly disassembled, but a lot of the big stuff is still there. So
I missed a comment that popped up on your phone.
okay, we're trying to get it to as many comments as we can. A lot of them are coming in pretty quick, so if we miss one, we apologize, but go ahead and throw it back up there. If we don't get to it within a few minutes, go ahead and throw it back up there, and we'll definitely try to catch you then.
Keep up the great work on saving the classic cars.
Well, that's what we do, so thanks a lot. Let's work our way back into this corner, then we'll swing back out and come out into here, I guess. So we'll come up over this way. Some more pickup stuff.
Whole car for a project.
Don't have any buildable 63s.
Without the Barrett Jackson price. 47 to 53 Chevy 5-window truck cab. Any cameo parts. 55 Ford F100 grill.
55 grill, I've only got a partial left. I've got one cameo. What was the other one I missed?
55 Ford F100
I've got a
grill.
partial grill on that. I don't have a complete one anymore.
Someday we will see Chad on the Motorworks channel with his own show, Restoring Cars. That's Jason Sharp.
Well, that's a possibility. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll keep rolling. I think we missed one or two there. If we did miss you, like I said, please repost and we'll try to catch you. They just come in fast, and a lot of times they'll come in a big spurt. So anyway, 74 Ford pickup, 57 Ford pickup. There's a 60 Chevy. Here's the pickup we were talking about on the side moldings. I took all the side moldings off of this truck. I do have part of them still. I have sold some of them, but that 60 Chevy custom cab short bed right there did have side moldings on it. I've still got some of that stuff in stock. So 53 Buick Special, two-door post came in from dad's. And just like and this is a good example, a lot of these cars were moving in from my dad's place. They have been parted out and there is stuff missing, but we'll take a quick look inside of this one.
Okay, there's a question from Matt. Hey Chad, curious if there's a car that you wish you could find.
I don't know. That's a pretty broad question. You never know. I get excited when I find a lot of different cars. So
73 Travelall quarters.
I've got one travel all over there. I don't know what year it is. It's that era, but I think it had some rust in the quarters. So we'll take a quick peek inside here. This is what a lot of these cars look like that come in from dad's. They don't look totally complete, but a lot of them are full of parts inside. So as we walk past a lot of this stuff that we moved in from dad's, and it doesn't look like there's a lot left, there's usually more than meets the eye to most of them. So we'll come on around the front of this 53. There's the back of that 60 Chevy pickup we were just talking about. Unfortunately, that truck was pretty rough when I found it, but wouldn't that have been a gorgeous pickup in 1960? A turquoise and white, two-tone, custom cab, short bed Chevy pickup with a big back window. It would have been cool. Unfortunately, just not much left of it. Another car from 1942, a Buick Super.
73 Ford F100 white cab light.
White cab lights. I assume we're talking about clearance lights on the top. I'd have to see if any of the ones I have had that. Here's one of the Oldsmobiles that just came in. Speaking of Oldsmobiles, 1953 Olds 98. Now, as we walk up to this car, something stood out to me, at least when I first saw it. We got any questions? Or? Okay.
Not at this second.
Okay. As I walked up to this car, I thought this car looks kind of funky. This is a 1953. It had these weird little scoops on the side. That's kind of different. I've seen that on some mid-50s cars, but I've never seen it on an Oldsmobile. Then I noticed right here, we've got more air intake, more air scoops. And then I realized this car's got factory air. 1953 factory air.
You didn't say if you had a 5-window cab 4753 Chevy truck.
I've got conventional 5-window cabs, no COE cabs. So yeah, that was one that I did miss. So, something interesting about these early air cars, back in the mid-50s, the air conditioning unit, we're used to it being in the dash, the evaporator box and everything in the dash on the firewall. That's not where they were on these cars. It was right up under here in the trunk. These actually had lines that ran underneath the car to the box in the trunk. They had fresh air that came in these scoops. And then they had outgoing cool air that came up through the back window. And if we take a look inside of here, and we look up over here on the headliner, we can see where the actual air outlets were up top in the headliner. This was a pretty unique car for 1953. This car was loaded with
Interior cab light, I'm not sure on what.
Oh, interior cab light, that might be that Ford pickup. You have to give me a call after we get done, and I can get you on my list on some of that type of stuff. So, this was a really cool car in 53. Had a Wonder Bar radio in it. I just got that out of it. Power steering. This car was really gills in 53. So, that was a cool find. We'll come on around the 53 Olds. I've got the bumpers for the Olds laying here. This is another car that, even though it looks pretty stripped, the bumpers are here. I've got a lot of the grill pieces in town already. I'm getting ready to clean up. So there's a lot more left of this car than meets the eye also. 1976 Ford Torino.
38 Pontiac 6 hood trim.
No 38 Pontiacs at all. The 76 Torino came in recently. No motor, but the body interior is pretty much complete, solid with trim and everything. So there again, any of this 70s stuff getting super hard to find. So this one came in recently, 1959 Ford F250, big back window, custom cab. This is a cool truck. It is a chassis cab. It does have some rust in the cab, but it is custom cab. We'll take a look at the front of this.
63 Plymouth Valiant.
Nothing there, nothing on the 63 Valiant. But we look at this, it's got a chrome grille in it. These are super tough to find. This grille will actually clean up. It's not half bad. The sides aren't caved in. The headlight bezels aren't caved in. It's got a few dinghies in it, but overall it's pretty good. It's got the stainless moldings on the windshield. It's even big back window with the stainless moldings for the big back glass, which is a pretty cool piece on these 57 to 60 Fords, and definitely not something you see very often. Fortunately, the back of the cab has been fairly well protected by this beast. So
69 Riviera front and rear window trim.
I've got, I think there is one or two 69s over there. I'd have to see if they had moldings on it. If you can give me a call after we get done, I'll get you on my list on that. So we'll come back out here towards the middle. 1951 Buick Super, another one that came in from Dad's place. 72 Dart 4-door. And a lot of the stuff in the middle we probably caught in the last live, but we can sure look at it. If there's something somebody wants to see, be sure to let us know. I've been spraying a ton of weeds around here, trying to keep the weed situation under control. It's always a challenge, but I work hard on it every year so it doesn't get too bad. It's hard to stay caught up on all of it. Several 55 Pontiacs that came in from Dad's place, as well as I already had some 55 Pontiacs. Probably got 6, 8, 9 55 Pontiacs on the ground right now.
Peter says hello from Vegas.
Vegas is on. Thanks for being here, Vegas.
76 VW Beetle radiator.
What year?
76.
76. You need a radiator for an air-cooled Beetle. That's interesting. I don't know what kind of Beetle you got or what kind of drivetrain you put in it. But, 79 International Scout Traveler, 72 Chevy Love pickup, some more 55 Pontiacs that came in from Dad's, early Jeep Cherokee Chief, 41 Pontiac two-door fastback.
Chevy Love channel says there's that love I want.
89 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 54 Ford F100 back in there behind it.
Here's a question for me, Mrs. Chad. How do you feel when Chad brings home another car? Are you like, do you really need another one? It's a moot point at this point.
I'm running a little short.
No. Hello from Oregon.
Oregon's on. Thanks for being here, Oregon.
Got some goats to take care of the weeds. Or get some goats.
Yeah, then I'd have to fence the entire property. That'd be a pretty big challenge also, so.
John Eastern, Tennessee. Good show.
Thanks
Love the
again.
love.
So we'll keep working our way around. 48 Pontiac, 41 Pontiac. We've got some bigger 70s era cars right back in here that we actually moved over into this area as we're resorting into a new area that we're going to get to here shortly. So some of these big 70s cars were over in another section a few months ago, but I'm redoing that entire area.
Lots of love from Ontario, Canada.
Canada's on. Thanks for being here. 71 Pontiac. 72 Olds behind it. 1977 Caprice in the two-door, the white one. Mid-90s Buick Roadmaster. 72 Impala. 77 LeSabre.
Do you have any 73 to 75 Pontiac Le Mans or Grand Ams?
Nothing there. I've got a few pieces left off of them, but no cars.
Hello from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Scott.
Pennsylvania's on with us. Thanks for being here. We're catching most corners of the country. A whole group of Boattail Rivieras here. Most of these came from Dad's. One or two of them I already had here. This whole area is just in a kind of a holding pattern as I'm regrouping on a lot of this stuff. So that's what all this stuff is right here. We'll kind of work our way over to here, which is some more new stuff. Little square S10, the little 80s, late 80s square S10s. Another one of those trucks that I feel is going to start getting more and more popular. So if I can find some, I'm trying to grab them.
Hello from a car guy in Southwest Minnesota. Nice old cars. Would love to see this place someday.
So Minnesota's on. I don't think we got all 50 states yet, but we're not.
Well, I hope it's cooler up in Minnesota than it is here. Hello from Southern Illinois. Any second-gen Firebirds?
I've got a lot of second gen, but it's all late second gen. No small back window stuff. I got one 74, but there's not a lot left. It's only I've got with small back windows, so it's all later stuff. 1950 Buick Super that came in from Dad's place. Oh, this piece here is pretty cool. We're gonna take a quick walk around this. I did have this in one of my other videos. In case you missed it, we'll give you a quick walk around.
56 Imperial.
No 56 Imperials.
S10s will be the next square body.
That's kind of how I feel about it. That's why I saved that whole stack of new takeoff beds. So I hope you're right, because I bought a bunch of it this year. So
Hello from Pearl River, Louisiana.
Louisiana, there we go. So this bulk tank here is pretty cool. It's different. I've got a lot of these bulk tanks in stock. I've got 6 or 8 of them probably. This is a little shorty. I don't know what it is, probably 8 feet. Really cool caps on it. I think these rolled hood ornaments off of something.
What's your location?
We're in Great Bend, Kansas. I think these are old hood ornaments. They adapted to these to look for a cap locker.
Any Roadrunners, GTXs?
I've got 169 Roadrunners. The only I've got that was actually a true Roadrunner that's here. We'll come on around the back of this. And there's one thing around about the back of this bulk tank that is different than any of the other bulk tanks I've got. And like I said, I've got several of them in stock. This has a tag on it.
Do you let people look at your lot?
I can't let you go wander by yourself. I can take you out and show you something if you specifically want to look at it. I'm still trying to get everything drawn up to figure out what I can and can't do as far as tours, but that's still on the agenda, and I know you guys ask every time, and I can only go as fast as I can. I've been dealing with the new yard that I just bought that we're going to get over to here in a little bit, that I bought at the end of the year last year. Right, the last couple months I've been getting everything set up with the state as far as getting that transferred over. So most of my conversations with my lawyer have been making sure I keep everything in line with the state so that I stay legal on everything. So, which brings up another point in case you guys ever are wondering. I am dual licensed in the state of Kansas. I am a salvage dealer. I have a salvage dealer license to sell parts. I also have a used car dealer license to sell complete vehicles. So I can sell anything you guys want to buy, and I am legal in the state of Kansas to do either one. So that's something else to keep in mind. A lot of the guys you run into that are trying to flip old cars aren't necessarily a legal dealer. I am an actual legal dealer in the state of Kansas, licensed, bonded, and insured. So let's peek in the back of this bulk tank, and this is what's cool about it. If you're a gas pump guy, you'll recognize this right away. This has a Tokeem gas pump in the back of it. Gas powered, Tokeem, Fort Wayne, Indiana, with its register on it. Only one I've got like this. I thought that was pretty cool. I like gas pumps too. I've probably got 25 or 30 gas pumps. So it's just kind of another variation of a gas pump. So, kind of cool piece, toolboxes on the side.
70s Mavericks, Comets.
I've got two Mavericks. They were both the later ones, none of the early ones.
Still looking for a 3-speed steering column for a 71 Ford Ranchero.
Nothing there.
Hello from Oroville, California.
California's here. We're making our ways around. I think we're going to get most of the 50 states today, hopefully, the way it sounds. More Buicks, a 54 Roadmaster, 47 Super, and a 50 Super there. All came in from Dad's. We'll kind of head up this way, catch around the edge here on some of this new inventory. I know a lot of this stuff was not here on the last live video that we did. Like I said, this whole center area, we just raised all of this. This whole area a couple years ago was so low that if we had rain, I'd have ducks out here right where we're standing. So this whole area has been raised a couple feet. And then what happened, as soon as my buddy got done doing dirt work on it, there was a big open area. So I started dumping cars in it. So especially with all this stuff coming in from Dad's, and now having to integrate the stuff on the new yard into here, I've got a ton of moving and sorting to do. But we're done moving cars from Dad's, so the bulk of it's here.
40 Elite.
40 Elite. I assume you're talking like a mid-70s 40 Elite. I don't have any of those.
Hello from Mount Vernon, Indiana.
Hey, Indiana. 82-ish. I don't know if it's an 82, 83, something like that. GMC Caballero, basically the same thing as an El Camino.
Ranchero may want to look into Torino Fairlane for his column. Monroe, North Carolina watching.
North Carolina's here. Like, so we're checking them off. I think we're going to try to get most of the 50 states today at the rate we're going. Here's something kind of cool that came in recently. 1974 Chevy Beauville van. Kind of cool. You don't come across these big vans that much anymore. None of them were saved.
Do you still take partial trades in cash?
Yes, they do take trade-ins. Inside, pretty much all there except the seats are gone. I always like finding stuff like this. Super cool plaid upholstery in it. That's got to be original from the 70s. Just neat finding this stuff. These things just never got saved.
Arkansas here.
Arkansas, there's another one we didn't
Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Chrome grill. So it was kind of a fancier one. The old massive sliding door. Take it inside. We got plaid all the way around in this one.
Hello from North Central Ohio. Do you sell complete cars?
Yes, I can sell. Like we just got done going over that actually. Yes, I am dual licensed in Kansas. I have a used car license and I also have a salvage license. So I can sell parts, complete vehicles, whatever. I'm completely legal, licensed, bonded, and insured to do either one.
Missouri's here.
Missouri, there's a new one. Next up, a 75, 76 Monte Carlo that just came in this spring. This car's kind of rough around the edges, but this thing is loaded to the gills with options.
Hello from Nova Scotia, Canada. Love your videos. Nice yard.
Another Canada, thanks for being here. This was a Landau Monte Carlo. Buckets, console, gauges, tach, power windows, power locks. This car is really loaded to the gills. This car has also has a really cool feature we're going to show you. If I can remember how to make them work.
New York's on.
We got swivel bucket seats in this one. You can spin
Yep.
around and kick out, whatever you want to do.
Chevy Love Channel guessed it.
So, another really cool feature.
Olive Branch, Mississippi. 1965 to 1967 Ford F100.
I've got 166 over there, depending on what you need. 67 is when they change body style. We can cut back through here. Some more Buicks that came in from Dad's. 49 Roadmaster, 50 Roadmaster, 51 Roadmaster, 55 Special. Here's another good example, just like this 51. Car is not complete, looks like it's missing a lot of pieces, and you look inside and there's just tons and tons of extra parts in these cars. So just because they don't look complete don't mean that there's not a lot of good pieces left on them.
Why would you have to have for the interior out of the Monte Carlo?
There again, call me after we get done, just like we talked about before. When you say interior, what do you mean? Do you mean everything from the headliner bows to the sill plates? Do you mean the seats and the console? There again, that's just a conversation we need to have when you can give me a call. Like I said, typically on these videos, we'll end up with 200 or 300 people on with us, and it's not fair to everybody else to stop and go through all those little specific details. So give me a call, let me know exactly what you're thinking when you say interior, and then we can go from there.
International Scout.
I've got the 179 Scout 2 that we walked past a little bit ago. It's the only Scout that I've got. And I've got a hardtop for old 60s era Scout.
Haley says hello.
Hello, Haley. 53 Roadmaster.
I hope I said her name right and it's not Hallie.
And a 70 Electra. Those are all more Buicks that came in from Dad's. Piles of sheet metal that came in this spring that haven't even had time to sort through yet. More truck cabs. Like I said, this whole area of truck cabs is kind of in disarray. As of right now, I have probably just under 100 cabs already off, sitting here just like these, lined up on pallets, ready to go. So
And 53 Chevy cars.
I've got several 53 cars.
60 to 66 GMO or Chevy truck, two-tone bed, turquoise bottom, white top.
I've got that 160 Shore Fleet that's turquoise and white. I don't remember which combination it was. It was a little bit earlier in the video. So we'll keep working our way around. A couple of more 49 Buicks that came in from Dad's place. Two 49 Supers. Even though this one does have a Roadmaster fender laying on it, both those cars are Supers.
Any Vegas?
I've got 3 or 4 Vegas. They are all the later ones that do not have any of the early open grill style Vegas. So we'll keep working our way around, work our way down this way, maybe work our way over to the new yard. If we miss a comment, please repost it. We're trying to keep up with them as they're coming in.
Looks like Grant was gonna write something, but I can't see anything. Oh, thumbs up maybe.
Okay.
We're dealing with bright sun too. 41 to 46 Chevy truck.
I've got some, depends on what you want. G-Body GM over here, 78 to 87 G-Body, Malibu, Monte Carlo, Cutlass, Regal, and Grand Prix. Have about 25 G-Bodies, maybe close to 30 in stock right now.
Ken, you need front end parts for what? If you made a comment before, I'm not sure.
And that's one thing, guys. If you make a partial comment and we say we're not sure about it, and you try to follow up with that, we've probably had 10 or 15 comments come in since then. So, and your first comment is long gone off the screen. So, and like I said, you can always call me after we get done. So we'll keep working our way around here. Let's cut back this way real quick.
Core support, hood support. Kenneth, we need to know what it's for. Any Roadrunner, Satellite, GTX, or Belvedere?
Some of that stuff, depending on what year, what body style, things like that.
Ford or Chevy complete 1 tons.
There again, I've got hundreds of Ford and Chevy trucks, depending on what year, style, things like that. And that's another thing, guys. When you say Ford or Chevy truck, that narrows it down to 200 choices for me. So I've got to have more specifics. That's why the phone calls are so critical.
Kenneth's was 41 to 46 Chevy truck.
I've got some of that stuff there again, depending on which front fenders you want. There's 3 different ones, stuff like that. So.
Any 39 to 40 Chevy or GMC truck, 1.5 ton.
I've got some bits and pieces, depends on what you need.
Derek, 71 to 74, I'm not sure what. It doesn't say.
And there again, if you follow up with something, it's your initial questions is long gone as these are rolling in on our screen. So we'll catch right back here real quick, catch a few more Buicks, then we're going to cut back over that way into a new section that I've been sorting and organizing.
Kenneth's was, sorry, half ton. 51 Ford pickup Twilights.
Not sure what we mean there.
Maybe it's supposed to be tail lights. 67 GTO complete for sale.
I've got a convertible that guy's supposed to be building that if he doesn't get it done, I might sell. I've got one
Tail lights.
shell with tag. A few more Buicks here that come in from Dad. 56 Special 2-door post, 47 Super 4-door, and a 48 Special 4-door. If you missed the video on this 48 Special, we did a live on this from Glacier. It was the last car we moved out of Glacier because it was the first car that Dad moved in there. He moved that car out there in 1979 or 1980. So we'll get a whole video on this group with a little more detail here over the next week or two. So stay tuned for that.
71, 74 Roadrunner GTX satellite driver door.
I've got one that has some rust on the inside seam, but it's fixable.
The phone number 620-786-4428.
I have posted that in the comment or in the title section on both these. So when we get done with the live and we kick off of here, that phone number will be on there, so you can give me a call and we can go over your specific needs.
Any 51 to 52 Hudsons?
No, nothing there. I've got one that's a 53. I guess a 53 and a 54, but no 51 or 52s. Some more Volkswagens that came in. A little Rabbit came in this spring. A Carmen Ghia that got hit really, really hard. 88 to 98 Chevy short fleet side bed and other related sheet metal. '63 Impala 4-door hardtop. 64 Bel Air station wagon. Now, real quick, as we get into this section right over here that we're looking at, this is all going to be 1959 to 1970 GM full size. So I've been putting a lot of these cars in this area and starting to sort them into rows. So that's what we're going to be looking at as we circle around here. You'll kind of see where I'm going with this project. Walking down the other side of our G-body stuff here, 82 Monte Carlo, 76 Cutlass, which is an A-body that got mixed in there. G-body Malibu station wagon, 82 Buick Century, I think it's, well, maybe an 81 or 82.
Have you ever met Richard Rawlings?
No, I've never met Richard Rawlings. 53 Bel Air 2-door hardtop. It's obviously in the wrong place, but there was a place to put it at that time, so that's where it ended up. Okay, getting into a lot of this 60s era big car stuff, tons and tons of Buicks in here because this was a lot of stuff that came in from Dad's, plus integrating the stuff that I already had on the property into it.
70 Impala complete.
I don't have any 70s at all.
49 to 52 Chevy 2-door Fleetline frame.
I probably got something there. So we'll kind of work our way back here, and this is obviously kind of in disarray right now. Obviously we've got a 69 Electra there, we've got a 61 LeSabre there, and a 70 Riviera right here. If we come and look at this stuff, we can see what kind of a mess I've got here. But as we get a little closer to the front, you'll see why this is a mess. You know, we've got a 65 Electra, we've got a 65 Wildcat, we've got a 66 LeSabre, we've got two 70 full-size Pontiacs. Sitting here next to the 70 Riviera. We'll kind of go back in here just to show you as I'm staging stuff, and when we get towards the front, you'll see what the method is to my madness, I guess. All these cars back here are just getting sat back here for the time being.
73 Olds 88 convertible.
Nothing there. 68 Electra, 67 98, 64 Bel Air, 60 Buick, 62 Buick, 69 Buick, 62 Buick Electra, 63 Wildcat two-door hardtop, another 68 Electra. We come all the way to the back. I'm tucking them in here as tight as I can so I can get some room to work up here. And we've got a 69 LeSabre, a 69 Cadillac, and another 69 LeSabre tucked clear back here in the corner. Or actually, I want a 70 LeSabre and a 69 LeSabre. So all this area back here is a staging area as I'm reworking this 59 to 70 GM full-size cars. Now, why is it 59 to 70? Well, 59 and 60 GM cars used a very similar body. The same with 69 and 70. 58 was completely different. 71 was completely different. We're going 59 to 69, then I'm going to exclude the 70s, which was a similar body style to the 69 full-size GM cars. So that's why I'm setting this area up that way. This is one of the 69 Rivieras. Another 70 LeSabre.
What kind of conditions? Lost it. Hang on. It's a 51 Ford pickup in the front by the gate.
Very solid pickup. Definitely going to be a good project. It's on one of the first ones I need to get a title on. It came in this spring. The state was shut down. I couldn't get paperwork done, so it's going to be one of the first ones I get titled soon. But it's very solid pickup. If there's any rust in it, it's very minimal. 70 Bonneville, more 60 Buicks, 63 Buick. And we're starting to get into some areas where you can start seeing some progress. If we look right here, we've actually got 4 of the same thing in one spot. I've got all the 59 Buicks in one row. And this is my ultimate goal, is to get this stuff grouped together. That's why this whole area we're looking at is going to be 59 to 70 full-size GM. I can put all of one thing in one row. Here's all my 59 Buicks, 4-door LeSabre, flat top Electra. Actually, that's a flat top LeSabre, that's a flat top Electra, and that's a flat top LeSabre.
70 Sisters?
70 Sisters. Lost me there.
I'm not sure.
So, as I'm sorting, I'm slowly making progress. We'll see a little more of this when we get up to the Pontiacs. But that's my ultimate goal in this area, and that's why all this stuff is kind of scattered in disarray. Eventually, we're making progress and getting stuff in rows. So this row here in front of it obviously hasn't been resorted yet, because it's got a 60 Electra, a 67 Riviera, a 67 Wildcat, a 62 Wildcat, a 61 LeSabre station wagon, a 1960 Cadillac.
Do you have a 28 to 31 Model A sedan?
No, I don't have it. Very little Model A stuff, a few bits and pieces, but no complete cars. And a 62 LeSabre two-door hardtop. Now we come up to the next row and it's all cleaned out. That's because I just moved everything out of here and moved it back into those areas we just looked at where things are not sorted. Got the weed sprayed. We can see them, they're starting to turn yellow on me, which is good. And then I'm going to start with another row of Pontiacs. So if we look right here at this next row, this entire row all the way down, 66 full-size Pontiac, Catalina two-door hardtop, Bonneville two-door hardtop.
Do you ever step on snakes doing these live shows? God, I hope not.
Now, I think I've seen one snake out here in 10 years.
We got little lizards.
We got lots of lizards, some toads, some rabbits. That's why I try to keep things sprayed, try to keep things organized, try to keep cars up on tires and wheels so they're not sitting flat on the ground. And that, that helps with a lot of that. So
Any Mustangs?
some Mustangs, just depends on what you're looking for.
Short bed from a 71 GMC Chevy, 67 to 72.
Don't have, well, it depends on which one you want. I've got a step coming in, no fleets.
Okay.
So here we're starting to see progress, which makes me feel a little bit better. Even though it's only a couple of rows, it's progress. All the full-size 66 Pontiacs, one row.
65 Plymouth Satellite.
None of those at all. We'll work our way up through these 66s to the next row, where I have all my 64s in a row. Catalina two-door hardtop, Bonneville Brougham, Catalina, Star Chief. And then down at the end, we've got a couple 65 full-size Pontiacs. So
69 Chevelle.
I've got one 69 Chevelle two-door hardtop. Just depends on what you may or may not need off of it. It's not a good complete project car. So we'll come on around this way. start to see more signs of progress. Obviously, I've got a 69 Bonneville up here that just got moved because there was room, so it's up here. This 69 Bonneville will go back into that empty row we just cleaned out.
67 to 69 darts.
I've got 167 two-door post. So we'll circle on around the front of this area, and we can see more signs of progress. All of my 62 Pontiac full size here in this first row. Behind it, a couple of 59s, a 60 and a 61. So it ultimately, eventually, I would like to have about everything in here sorted like this. It just takes a ton of time, especially with all the stuff that was coming in from Dad's over the last couple years, but fortunately those cars are all here now. I have all this inventory in here that has to be integrated in. Plus, we're trying to level a lot of the low spots. I've got a lot of dirt that's been hauled in over the last 3 or 4 years that needs to be put in low spots and leveled out, so I got more room to work. It's just a big time-consuming process, but it feels good to make a little bit of progress at least with some of this stuff right in here. So we can see the 62 Catalina wagon, the 62 Catalina two-door hardtop.
Do you want to buy some 40 to 41 Chevy two-door cars?
There again, just depends on where they're at and what you want, things like that. The worst part about most of the stuff is the logistics for me, physically getting them here, you know, if you're too very far away.
Leroy said, bummer, just fleet side, but maybe someday he'll get one. Thanks.
So, okay, I think let's walk this way a little bit because I need to get more water. So we'll walk past this group of cabs. We'll grab a couple bottles of water, and then we will head over into the new yard. In fact, I don't even think we got into the new yard on the last live walk around we did. We've been doing a lot of videos over there. I'm sure some of you guys have caught some of them. More cabs lined up over here. Some international stuff. 50 to 55 international L or R series short bed sitting behind those K series cabs. And there again, kind of a mismatched mess actually of cabs that just need to be sorted and put away once we get this area over here up and level.
Jason Sharp, remember Chad, I can always pick stuff up with my truck for you. I have a 53-foot dry van.
Okay.
The 4041 cars are in Arkansas.
Okay.
Looking for a 65 Dodge W200 truck steering wheel.
I've got a few mid-60s Dodge trucks, but not very much. I don't have any good steering wheels, I know that.
Plymouth Roadrunner.
There again, depends on what we're talking about on that. So, I think I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to run and grab a couple bottles of water. If you want to just bear with us.
Any chance of having any body parts for a 34-34 Chevy standard coupe?
No coupes in 34. In fact, I don't think I've got any 34 cars.
Looking for 5758 Plymouth two-door, doesn't have to be HT.
Nothing there either.
Oh, from Sweden.
Oh, we got Sweden on with us.
Nice video tour. Do you have some 58 Buicks?
Not much. We've got a little bit of 58 Buicks, very little.
69 Roadrunner or 68?
We've got a 69 that's rough, but it is a 383 4-speed Roadrunner with tags and paper. So we'll let you look around a little bit here. We'll just show you a few pictures. I'll run and get some more water, and we'll be back with you here in just a second. Okay, we're back. I got a fresh bottle of water. I'm ready to talk some more. If you guys are willing to listen, I guess that is. If we missed a few questions there, I apologize. Just go ahead and post them back up. We'll definitely try to catch you. I think we'll go ahead and start working our way over into here, into the new yard. Everything over here is a complete mess. None of it's organized. About everything over here was put there. Wherever there was a hole is where it got dropped. So that's about all the way everything was over there. We got some things popping up.
What's the condition on the white Ford truck bed you walked by?
Could have missed it, depends on which one it was, but we walked through a bunch of beds and things, so there again, just give me a call after we get done and find out specifically which one we're talking about. So we'll head over here. I've been doing a lot of videos over here, but we haven't done the last live. We never even got over it. I think actually the phones died before we even got over here. We were so busy over in the regular part.
We didn't have to go boil the water. It's quite a trek up. Walk straight ahead. There's a 60s.
I don't know. It's hard to say. By the time you type it in, we may be going a different direction too. So it's hard to say. Like I said, you can always give me a shout after the fact, and we can definitely get it sorted out. So
Watch for chiggers, yeah, and ticks.
So over here, and I don't know if you have not been following my videos, all this stuff over here, well, basically with the exception of the Kaiser, is just the way I bought it. This stuff's been sitting here for decades. I tried to buy this place 20 years ago before I ever bought where I am now. They wouldn't sell it. It's been hung up in the state for years. They finally got to the point where they had to do something with it. I did finally get it bought, and end of last year we finally got all that done. So I've been doing a lot of videos over here. We have not done really much live stuff out of here other than the initial announcement the first part of this year. So we'll just start working around here in the back a little bit and start showing you some of this.
Dodge truck, 60s Dodge truck.
60s Dodge truck.
That's what he said. Walk straight ahead. There's a 60s.
Oh, okay.
It's a Dodge truck.
So there again, you know, when we apologize, some of those, it takes a second for them to come through. And you know, if it's something we're still there, we can definitely try to catch it, but it's hard to remember exactly where we may have been when you type that in. So, you know, if you can get it up there as soon as we can, and be very, very specific when you type it in, so we know exactly what you're talking about. Another 69 Cadillac. This is one I had. It just kind of got stuck over here out of the way. And actually, as well as this whole row over here with stuff I've had here, just got moved out of the way. 79 Caprice wagon, a couple little 86 Rivieras, 88 Buick full-size wagon, and a 73 Impala two-door hardtop up over on that row. Here we can kind of get back into some of this stuff here that is part of this new yard. A couple of Mustang shells here, not a lot left of them. An old Ford truck chassis. Here's the Chevy panel truck body that I have. Like I said, there's not much left of it. But we can kind of work our way into here and check out. There's kind of some funky stuff in here, kind of some different stuff we don't see every day. So let's take a look at it while we're here. Vega wagon. Like about a 79 or 80 full-size Delta 88, 55, 56 era Packard Clipper. Really cool Studebaker truck. This is about a 49 or 50 era Studebaker 1-ton. What's cool about this, obviously got a big massive grill guard on it. It is a chassis cab. I think it had a wrecker bed on it. When you see the remnants of the old Goodyear tire sticker on the hood, on both sides, don't know for sure what this badge was, or maybe they were painted, I don't know. Whatever there was something there. And the doors on this still have the lettering for the Martinet Motor Company in Larned, Kansas. So this is a super cool truck. No bed, so I assume it was probably a wrecker at some point or some sort of a service truck, but neat piece. Little Mercury Comet. There's one you don't see every day, 56 International S110 half-ton pickup body. Pretty cool looking truck. Another one of these earlier Studebakers. This was some sort of a supply company. Can't really make it all out, but it's had lettering on the doors. Once again, it's a chassis cab. Probably has some sort of a flatbed on it or something for a delivery. 1973 Chevy Caprice 4-door. Pretty much a complete car.
'51, '52 Caddy front bumper.
I've got one unidentified early 50s Caddy front bumper. I'm not sure if it's 51 or 52. It's laying over here in this new stuff, and it's laying with a 55, but I know it's not 55. That's the only possibility I may have. 48 to 50 Chevy truck. About a 56 Hudson. That's something you definitely don't see every day. Really cool, really unique grill on that car, and definitely one that you don't see very often at all on those. 65 Mercury Monterey convertible.
51, '52 Caddy front bumper. Oh, that's one I already read. Okay. I thought it was.
Are we all caught up on questions?
Any '64 Biscayne parts?
I've got, I know 164 Bel Air. I've got some 64 Impalas. Just depends on what you need. So. Oh, Ford, Chevy. Like I said, everything in here is kind of wherever there was a spot is where it got put when it came in. So it's kind of an adventure. Every time you come around the corner, it might be something different. 51 Chevy, 65 Chevy C10.
Any 37 to 41 Dodge Plymouth pickup parts in the new stuff?
Well, there's two brakes. There's two different trucks. 39 was a different truck than 37, 38. 39 body style went up to 46. So I don't have anything 38 on back in Mopar truck. I've got some 39 to 47 stuff.
Are you heading to Mecum and Indy this week?
That's up for debate right at this point. Obviously, that was the plans, but and everything is still going well there the way it sounds. The state did change some of their mandates on Friday, I found out. So actually that's going on behind the scenes right now. Our group is discussing whether or not we're still going to go. So that's up in the air. Still want to go, would love to go, but if, you know, I'd hate to get halfway there and have them change the rules again and things like that. So that's up in the air at this exact moment. So I don't have a good answer for that, unfortunately, at this point.
Was there yesterday. Good event.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It always is. It's always a great time. They got some killer cars there. So. 62 F100. 52 Ford, 52 Chevy. There's one of those two-door fleet lines. There's the Travelall that I've got. I think it's an early 70s era Travelall. Lots more Fords and Chevys in here in this corner. Kind of work our way back into here. 51 Chevy, 57 Chevy 4-door hardtop, full-size tradesman Dodge van. You know, there again, like we talked about earlier, those big full-size vans, a lot of people didn't keep them, and now they're kind of cool. You know, some of the custom vans, surge is coming back a little bit, but they're neat, they're cool, they're funky, and there's not a lot of them left. So. Oh. Another M-Series Studebaker, 39 Chevy 2-door sedan, 54 Chevy 3100.
Hard to hear your answer, too far from the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up here close when we can, and I apologize, sometimes I do miss that, so. Especially when I'm trying to keep rolling through everything. 59 Chevy Apache 3600. Kind of work our way out around this way. And like I said, if you've got questions, just go ahead and throw them up there. We're definitely trying to catch all of them that we can. Sometimes they get away from us, but Kaiser, definitely something you don't see every day. And a couple other ones that are kind of cool back here in the corner we don't see a lot of. We got a pair of 58 Edsmonds right here. This one's a Pacer. And this one's a Corsair. Both cool cars. These were the horse collar grill 58s. Really unique. You don't see a ton of them anymore. There are about 5 or 6 Edsels in this new yard. So it was exciting to add those to the collection. I only had a couple of Edsels.
Any T? I'm not sure.
I assume if you're talking, maybe you're talking Model T. There's a stack of parts over here in this new yard that was Model T, but that's about all I know. 55 Buick Super two-door hardtop right here behind us. Here's one of the 41 to 46 Chevy trucks and a 51 to 53 Dodge truck right in front of it.
Any 55 Ford cars?
I don't have any 55 cars at all. I've got a couple of 56s, and there's not a lot left of those, but I don't have any 55s at all right now. Got to work our way down this direction. And like I said, just you never know in here. It's none of it's sorted, none of it's organized. So I got my hands full with that. But you know, 53 Ford, 41 Chevy, 41 Ford. We got more Chevy truck cabs over here. 61 Ford, Cadillacs. Like I said, it's always an adventure. There's one of the Mavericks I have. That one's a little two-door body. Really cool looking bathtub Nash. Not the most popular car out there, but they are cool looking. And that car's pretty much complete. Cool looking nose on them. Really neat, really unique body style.
It's smiling.
It is kind of smiling. They are kind of a happy little car. So anyway, hey, if you're on YouTube, be sure to check out Straight Six Fan. My buddy Grant Tomey, he did a video out here. He come out for Rocky Mountain Race Week. He's got a video launching tonight that he put together out here. So be sure to check out Straight Six Fan on YouTube. And on Thursday night, check out Straight Six Fan, Old Car Guy. Those guys do a cool show on Thursday night, so be sure to check those guys out too. So, square body Chevys, obviously one of the hottest things out there. There are a few of those in here.
It's so sad to think these beautiful cars were once someone's pride and joy.
Yeah, a lot of them were. 52 Chevy 3100 pickup there. That's one that could probably be saved. It's missing a fender and the grill and stuff, but I've got the pieces to go back with that to make that into a truck again. Let's cut up here into the middle. Like I said, there's no organization in here whatsoever. So there's big open holes right in the middle, and then there's areas you can't walk through. So we'll kind of work our way around and show you some more of this stuff. Several Corvairs here. There's a whole row of Corvairs. I am no Corvair expert. I didn't own any Corvairs until I bought this place, and there's about 6 or 8 of them in here, so I'm learning about Corvairs. So if you need Corvair parts, you're gonna have to bear with me and give me some details to work with, because I don't know those cars that well. Big old Cadillac, 66 Buick Special. Like I said, no rhyme nor reason to any of this stuff. 41 Plymouth Coupe.
The yard's in Great Bend, Kansas.
38, 39 Ford truck. Willys Aero sedan. Like I said, just stuff kind of.
Is that a 39 Lincoln?
I don't have any 39 Lincolns, so I don't know what you saw, but I'm sure it wasn't a 39 Lincoln. So we'll cut off over, let's cut right through the middle here, I guess. Like I said, I'm kind of randomly bouncing because that's kind of how this place is set up, random. Several truck cabs here in the middle. 67 to 72 era Chevy C10. I think this is, yeah, it had the bigger side marker lights, so like 68, 69 to 72.
I thought it was the Plymouth. Oh, on the 39 Lincoln.
Okay. Kind of a cool car there, 1964 Mercury Comet two-door hardtop. Definitely one you don't see every day. A lot of the trim and a lot of the other pieces for that car are inside of it. 50 to 52 International L110, 57, 58 era International.
Your cousin Mark's on.
Hey Mark, glad you're here. R110 International, 56 Dodge. A lot of these are cabs and front clips in this section. There again, don't know why there's a whole bunch of cabs and front clips here right in the middle of everything else, but that's where they got dropped. So I've got to get them out, get them sorted out. 1958 Ford. From the Dubois Sand Company in Great Bend, Kansas. Still got the cool lettering on the doors on that one. Really cool 55 DeSoto 4-door. 66 Valiant 2-door. More of these old trucks, another 57, 58 era International, mid-60s era Ford, another Ford behind this one, another 57 to 60 era, same as this 58.
Any AMC Javelin?
No Javelins. So we'll kind of keep working our way through here. 48 to 50 Ford pickup. A couple of Oldsmobiles, actually two of the same make beside each other. 65, and I think this is a 63 or 4, I can't remember for sure. Another Corvair body. And actually we'll get down here in the middle, and there's actually a group of Cadillacs in here that's kind of cool, some really neat looking Cadillacs. You know, a couple of 62s here. Even though some of these cars aren't complete, a lot of cool stuff. 63 Cadillac Fleetwood. This one here is really cool. 1961 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Not totally complete, but you know, missing some dash pieces and missing a front fender. But this car is actually mostly complete. 66 Cadillac Limousine. That's kind of a cool piece. Be interesting to know the story behind that one. Don't know where it came from, how it ended up here, but it's kind of a neat car.
And we're starting to get wind pickup.
Gotta keep working our way around here. More big Cadillacs, 52 Plymouth, 55 Cadillac.
How much for the DeVille Coupe?
There again, give me a call so we can go over exactly what we're talking about and things like that. So, here's this early 50s Cadillac bumper that I'm not sure what year it is because it's been sitting in here like this for years. So, don't know if that could be a 1 or 2 or not, but that's a possibility. '73 Chevy El Camino.
Any Fairlanes?
There again, depends on what kind of Fairlane you're looking for. If you're looking for 58s, there's a couple of them right there, as a matter of fact. But it depends on what kind of Fairlane you're talking about. So let's catch this group. We're going to see what this wind does. It's kicking up on us pretty good here. If it gets too annoying, be sure to let us know. We may just have to kind of wrap things up and come back to you on a later date. The breeze is definitely picking up. I don't want it to be too annoying for you guys. So we can come over this direction. Here's just a couple of 58 Fords we talked about, more Cadillacs, a matched pair of gold 66s, and a 73. Another full-size Chevy, 70, I think that one was a 74. Chevy full-size, if I remember correctly. You cut up this way, sneak between these Cadillacs here. Got a couple more full-size Chevys. There's a 76 Caprice 4-door.
52 Ford Victoria.
I don't have any 52 hardtops.
Any Fords? That narrows it down to.
That's just too broad of a question.
Yeah. We got lots of Fords.
A couple of 58 Bel Airs.
4852 Ford cab over parts, specifically passenger side battery cover under door.
Nothing there. Those are pretty tough to find. I don't have anything there at all.
What's the best times to get a hold of you?
Usually about 8 to 8 Central Standard Time. I'm usually at the shop. I usually get the shop around 7. So by 8 o'clock, I can pretty much take care of anything up until about 8 o'clock at night. So after that, I want to get wrapped up and get done for the day. So anyway, the other thing about this new yard is there's stuff everywhere. It's an adventure at every corner. I mean, obviously there's a whole pile of sheet metal here that hasn't been touched in years. You know, there's a square body Chevy pickup bed. There's a 63 Chevy pickup front end inside the Chevy pickup bed. There's a set of 68 to 72 El Camino doors. There's hoods, there's sheet metal, there's just stuff scattered everywhere.
Working on a 65 Buick Skylark 2-door that needs lower rear quarter panels.
Don't have anything there at all.
53 2-door Chevy car.
I've got several of them depending on which one you have and what you need. So, anyway, you guys are still hanging in there. We'll probably go a little bit longer. We may try to go ahead and get wrapped up here soon. This wind, the trees are starting to blow pretty good, so I know we're getting worse. Whatever you guys want to do, if you want us to go a little longer, we'll try to go a little longer. If not, if it's getting too bad, we can sure bail off.
Ford Falcons.
I've got some Falcons, just depends on which one you've got and what you need. So we'll kind of keep working our way through here.
Big block Chevy motors.
I don't really have any big block stuff. Depending on what you need, I know some people that have some of that stuff, but there again, big block Chevy is a pretty broad topic, so. We all caught up?
I think so, from what I can tell.
Okay. We're fighting the glare on the phone, so if we did miss you, we apologize. Go ahead and repost it and we'll get to it. We're kind of coming along the front of where we were just at in the Cadillacs, the 69 Catalina, 64 Galaxies, and things like that.
55 to 57 Chevy milk truck front clip.
Depends on what body it was and which front clip it used.
Short bed Chevy bed 81 through 87.
Nothing there.
69, 68, 69 Skylark right front fender and grill.
I've got a right front fender. It depends on which grill you need and what pieces you need.
Can I get a picture of that caddy bumper? I think it is correct.
Call me after we get done, and I'll fire it and we'll get some pictures off to you in some little more detail as opposed to just walking by it. So anyway, that's what we've got going. There's a really cool 53 Dodge half-ton short bed pickup right here. Make somebody a cool patina truck project.
I like the colors on it.
And like I said, there's stuff everywhere. There's these old chassis. This bed is really cool. It's rusty. If you're building a Ford patina truck, or rat rod, 40s era, this bed is super cool. Why is it super cool? It just looks like a rusty old flatbed. It is a rusty old flatbed. Let's take a look around the back of it. This is a factory pickup flatbed for a Ford truck, probably from the 40s. It's a little rusty, it's a little nasty, but it is a factory flatbed for a Ford pickup. So those are something you don't see every day. I've got a couple of these, and I've also got some big truck beds. The big truck beds just had a Ford logo here in the middle. They didn't say truck on them. These smaller ones, they were pickup size, actually said Ford truck on them. So
48 to 50 Ford F4 front fenders.
Yes, I've still got some of those that need a little bit of rust repair, but they're not too bad. So
Right behind you.
yeah, there's that truck right there's got some. Yeah, I've got some I think that are a little better than that too. So, and there again, some of this stuff, and this, which is a good time to bring this up too. A lot of this stuff I've got multiples of, and I know a lot of you guys, whether you're doing a restoration, you want the best thing you need. If you're doing a light blue 48 to 54 truck or gray, those are probably the fenders you want. If you want dark blue, I need to send you pictures of another set. If you want a red one, we got to see if I've got anything different. So if you're building a patina truck, sometimes I can even match up your patina because a lot of the stuff I've got multiples of it. So always keep that in mind, and that's why it's so important to call me so we can have that conversation and know exactly where you're trying to go with your build, as to see what I may or may not have for your build. Something else I want to point out really unique while we're standing here. A couple of engines here, and I think these are Oakland is what I was told. My buddy Phil kind of helped me identify these. Check out the cylinder heads on these flathead engines. They're at an angle. I had no clue what those were. I sent pictures to my buddy Phil. He kind of helped me out. Here's the set that are off. I think this is the same engine. And they're literally an angle cut cylinder head. So a really super unique piece. I don't know much about them. How good are they? After being sitting here for years, who knows? But it's definitely a cool conversation piece. So, and definitely something different. So I wanted to point that out because it's kind of cool, kind of stands out. 52 Pontiac, 64 Bel Air actually. I thought that one was an Impala, that was a Bel Air. 57 to 64 pickup that somebody disassembled years ago with a really clean short fleet side bed for 57 to 64 pickup. Kind of a tough piece to find. Here's the Willys Aero Sedan Ace Deluxe. That's kind of a cool little car. They only made those Aero Sedans for 3 or 4 years. Not something that's real common. Definitely want to check those things out because those are really cool and they're different. Every one of them's different. There's nothing that I can remember from that era like them. There again, some cars I'd never owned before. I had to do kind of a crash course into figuring out what I even had to know what I was even talking about on some of those little Aero sedans. That one happens to be an Aero Lark, according to the trunk. So something kind of different. So we'll kind of work our way up towards the front, and if we're getting ready to wrap it up, questions seem to be slowing down a little bit. So we'll probably kind of get